Square footage is a crucial factor when planning renovations or decorations. It's the key to estimating the materials you need and the costs involved. So how do you calculate it? It's actually quite straightforward. You simply measure the length and width of your space in feet and then multiply these two numbers together. This gives you the total square footage. For instance, a room that's 10 feet wide and 12 feet long would be 120 square feet. Simple, right? But what if your room isn't a perfect rectangle? This question might have crossed your mind when dealing with irregularly shaped spaces. Don't fret, as these can also be measured with a little more mathematical elbow grease. For triangles, you'll want to multiply the base by the height and then divide by 2. Imagine you're dealing with a triangular space that's 10 feet at the base and 6 feet high. You'd end up with 30 square feet. When it comes to circles, the formula is pi times the radius squared. If you have a circular room with a radius of 5 feet, you'd calculate approximately 78.5 square feet. Remember, these are just the basics. For more complex shapes, you may need to break down your space into smaller, easier-to-handle sections and add up their square footage. Our comprehensive guide explains how to handle these with ease, ensuring you never miss a beat. But how can you simplify these calculations? Enter the Square Foot Calculator, a handy tool designed to make your life easier. Whether you're dealing with a rectangle, a circle, or an irregular shape, this calculator has got you covered. All you need to do is input your measurements, and voila! Your square footage is calculated in an instant. No more guesswork, no more errors. Our Square Foot Calculator is your best friend here. It simplifies complex shapes and guarantees precision. Now that you know the square footage, how do you determine the costs? It's all about understanding the price per square foot of your chosen materials. For example, if a tile costs $5 per square foot and your room measures 100 square feet, you will need $500 worth of tiles. The same logic applies to paint or any other material. Remember, accurate calculations ensure you stay within your budget. Determining costs is just as crucial as measuring the space. If you still have doubts, don't worry, we've got you covered. Let's tackle some frequent queries. Wondering how to convert square meters to square feet? Multiply the square meter value by 10.76. And what about pricing per square foot? Simply divide the total cost by the total square footage. It's as easy as pie. From converting square meters to square feet to understanding square footage pricing, we've answered all your questions.